Hey there, myth enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of Celtic creation myths. Buckle up for a wild ride through ancient Irish lore that'll blow your mind and maybe even make you question everything you thought you knew about the universe. Picture this: a vast, empty void. No earth, no sky, no nothing. Just darkness and mist swirling around. Pretty bleak, right? Well, that's where our story begins. In Celtic mythology, this primordial soup was called the chaos of nothingness. Sounds like a killer band name if you ask me. But wait, there's more. Out of this cosmic nothingness emerged powerful beings, Danu and Bile now. Danu was the mother goddess, representing the earth and fertility. Bile, on the other hand, was the god of death and the underworld. Talk about an odd couple, huh? These two primordial deities got busy creating the world as we know it. They gave birth to a whole pantheon of gods and goddesses, known as the Tuatha Dé Danann. These divine beings were like the ultimate superhero team, each with their own unique powers and responsibilities. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The Tuatha Dé Danann weren't content with just hanging out in the void. They decided to create a physical realm to call home. And boy, did they go all out. First up on the cosmic to-do list, land. The gods reached deep into the misty chaos and pulled out a massive chunk of earth. They shaped it, molded it, and voila, Ireland was born. But they didn't stop there. Oh no, they were just getting started. Next came the sky. The gods stretched a great blue canopy over the land, dotting it with twinkling stars and a radiant sun. And let's not forget the moon, that mystical orb that would guide travelers and inspire poets for generations to come. But a world isn't complete without some greenery, right? The gods agreed and set about creating lush forests, rolling hills and verdant meadows. They filled the land with all manner of plants and trees, each with its own magical properties and hidden wisdom. Now, what's a world without some inhabitants? The gods thought the same thing and decided to populate their creation. They breathed life into animals of all shapes and sizes. From the mighty stag to the clever fox, and even the elusive salmon of knowledge. But the D was yet to come. The gods saved their greatest creation for last: humans. They crafted these beings in their own image, imbuing them with intelligence, creativity, and a spark of divine essence. Here's where the Celtic creation myth takes an interesting turn. Unlike some other mythologies where humans are seen as lowly creatures, the Celts believed that humans were deeply connected to the divine. We're talking a direct hotline to the gods themselves. This connection was symbolized by the sacred trees, especially the mighty oak. These trees were seen as bridges between the mortal world and the realm of the gods. People would gather in sacred groves to commune with the divine and seek wisdom from the other side. But hold on to your shamrocks, folks, because the story doesn't end there. The Celts believed that creation wasn't a one-and-done deal. They saw the universe as a constantly evolving, cyclical entity. Everything was in a state of flux, always changing and renewing itself. This idea of eternal cycles was reflected in the Celtic concept of time. They didn't see time as a straight line, but as a spiral, constantly looping back on itself while still moving forward. Mind-bending stuff, right? Now, you might be wondering, what about all those famous Celtic heroes we've heard about? Well, buckle up, because they're part of this creation story too. The gods didn't just create the world and peace out. They stuck around, interacting with humans and even having children with them. These divine human hybrids became the great heroes of Celtic mythology. We're talking legendary figures like Tu Chulainn, Fionn Mac Cumhaill, and Deirdre of the Sorrows. These heroes embodied the best qualities of both gods and humans, and their epic tales have been passed down through generations. But let's not forget the darker side of Celtic mythology. Along with the gods and heroes, the Celts believed in a whole host of supernatural creatures. We're talking mischievous fairies, shape-shifting selkies, and the terrifying banshee whose wail could freeze your blood. These beings weren't just stories to scare children. They were an integral part of the Celtic worldview, representing the mysterious and often dangerous forces of nature. They served as a reminder that the world was a complex place, full of wonder and peril in equal measure. Now, here's a mind-blowing tidbit for you. The Celts didn't believe in a single unified creation myth. Different regions and tribes had their own variations on the story. Some focused more on certain gods, while others emphasized different aspects of creation. This diversity of beliefs reflects the decentralized nature of Celtic society. There was no single Celtic Bible laying down the law. Instead, the myths were passed down orally, evolving and adapting over time. It's like a cosmic game of telephone, with each generation adding its own spin to the tale. But despite these variations, there were some common themes that ran through all Celtic creation myths. The idea of balance was crucial. Light and dark, life and death, order and chaos. All these opposing forces were seen as necessary for the world to function. This brings us to one of the most fascinating aspects of Celtic mythology, the concept of the otherworld. This wasn't some far-off heaven or hell, but a parallel dimension existing alongside our own. The otherworld was the realm of the gods, the dead, and all manner of supernatural beings. The boundary between our world and the otherworld was thought to be thin and permeable. Certain times and places, like Samhain, the precursor to Halloween, or sacred wells, were believed to be portals where one could cross over. Talk about a cosmic commute. So what can we take away from this whirlwind tour of Celtic creation myths? Well, for one, it's a reminder of the incredible imagination and depth of thought our ancestors possessed. These stories weren't just entertainment. They were ways of understanding the world and our place in it. The Celtic view of creation emphasizes interconnectedness. Everything gods, humans, nature, the seen and unseen is part of a grand cosmic web. It's a perspective that feels surprisingly relevant in our modern age of ecological awareness and quantum entanglement. Moreover, the cyclical nature of Celtic mythology offers a hopeful message. In a world that often seems chaotic and unpredictable, there's comfort in the idea that everything moves in cycles. Winter always gives way to spring, and even in the darkest times, renewal is just around the corner. So, the next time you're out in nature, take a moment to really look around. Maybe, just maybe, you'll catch a glimpse of that ancient magical world the Celts believed in. Who knows? You might even spot a mischievous fairy or two. And there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour of Celtic creation myths. From cosmic chaos to divine battles, from sacred trees to supernatural beings, it's a wild ride that'll make your head spin and your imagination soar. So until next time, keep your eyes open for the magic that surrounds us all.